I'd just be walking in here with a piece of fruit and a pocket full of dreams.
You know, they never do also explain the mechanics behind, like, why on earth do, um, we, like, even if you escape the tower without dying, when you come back in, you start at level 1. Like, why? Is it a magic tower?
Yeah.
It just resets everybody's levels?
I mean, if you look at the background, I mean, it could be implied that this tower's like removed from the space-time continuum or some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a swirling void outside of the bounds of the tower. Do you remember where we get the second collar? Or is it random?
It's random-ish. I think it's at least after, like, floor 10.
Okay. Oh, geez, fast forward. I forgot the run button's a little bit different once you're actually inside the tower.
Yep, you move quite a bit faster.
Also, interesting thing to note, you can get separated from your familiar inside the tower if you hit like a spring trap or a teleportation trap, or if your familiar hits a trap. And getting separated from your familiar can pretty much fuck your run over.
Yep. It's pretty bad news. So they wanted to try to give us information / tutorial outside when we're talking to the old man, and even after we get inside, we're still being hit by a freaking tutorial by our familiar.
Yeah. But remember, he's a big shot, even though he's only level 1. Supposedly, he was a familiar of a great monster tamer. And he was so great, but yet he's still level 1. Oh, and you also have a very limited inventory in this game.
Yep. I can't remember if there was ever a way to, like, expand how many items you could have.
I think you could eventually.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so you can upgrade on weapons.
Right. But
oh, and you could also downgrade your weapons. So say you get a copper sword that's +0 and you step on a rust trap, it'll become -1 on it.
Yep.
So you can actually get negative upgrade levels.
Yep. So, yeah, that was right. Like, if you could, that's kind of also why you always wanted to try to get out of the tower without dying, is because then you could keep your equipment. Because if you did die, you'd lose all that equipment.
Yeah. Oh, and your equipped weapon also takes up an inventory slot. So even if it's equipped, it still... Oh, and your familiar eats up an inventory slot as well.
Yep. The weapons didn't have durability, did they? No, I don't think so.
I can check here in a second. I don't remember them having it, but an interesting thing to note is, despite the fact that it seems like this game's kind of freeform, it is turn-based. Every time you move, every time you do an action, a turn is going by in real time. So, like, if you're standing still, monsters can't move until you either take an action or move as well. So it's kind of like
it's like old style net hacks and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm tired of these tutorials. Controls in this game are kind of wonky if you're just going back to play it now, it feels kind of weird playing a game with this type of control scheme.
Yep. Another thing that was kind of annoying, now, just as I'm looking at it, that I remember was getting separated from your familiar was always a pain in the butt because your familiar doesn't appear differently on the minimap. They label your familiar as a monster, so even if you could see, because you'll occasionally get like the ability to see the entire floor and monsters on it, which can help you like figure things out. Oh, first egg.
I don't remember getting an egg this early.
Yeah. I think the only reason, maybe the reason why we just don't remember is because the first egg is usually complete crap. And I don't think you can even use it to begin with because you'd have to swap out Quinn to be able to use it because you only have one caller.
Yeah, it specifies like throughout the text of them that it's best to hatch them at home.
Mm-hmm.
Familiar born at the monster shed will go home with Co after leaving. But one that was born in the tower will leave from the bag. They don't have any attachment to Co's house, blah blah blah. Wow, he just called my house a dirty hovel. Dick. Why is he following at such a weird angle for me? Main ability, stuff, blah blah blah. Ow. I keep knocking stuff over on my desk. Oh, we've already been recording for like 27 minutes.
So much text just to be going.
Yeah, and you can't skip it either. You can't even make it advance faster either. Are there even any monsters on the first floor?
Not in this instance. Maybe when you come back through again once. Just for the tutorial thing, it's always the same thing. There's hardly anything.
I can't remember if it's better to just have Quinn enchant my weapon, or if I should have him actually fight with me on his own.
I don't remember. I think I always ended up like using a mixture. You can definitely change it around later on. Like maybe like have Quinn just enchant and then have some beefy thing. Because I vaguely recall Quinn getting beat up pretty freaking easily.
Ah, traps. I hate traps.
I think it's great though that the traps in this game, you can lure monsters into them, because some games don't. Like, they'll make the monsters always like immune or just completely ignore them altogether, so...
Yeah. It could be a lifesaver.
Yep. Because you can always, you can run monsters into like spring traps and other kinds of things to get distance between them. Especially if you're trying to like make a mad dash to like some of the higher levels. Because at some point, usually you are just way too weak the floor you're at, and they'll beat you up if they get within range.
Okay, so starting from here, I stepped on a trap and I missed what it did. Oh, nice. Found a weapon upgrade already. Oh, that is a familiar weapon.
Yep.
So from here up, I think it's on this first sleeping monster. Oh, never mind. Ah. Okay, cool. You'll see what I said when it why I said that when it catches up, but I almost got bounced up to the 3rd floor without really wanting to right now. It's usually pretty good practice if you could swing it to try and complete a floor, especially early on.
Yeah, because you really need to be leveling up Quinn quite a bit.
I probably shouldn't be fighting a troll this early on. Okay, that wasn't too bad. And also, thankfully, enemies can't stack on top of each other.
Nope.
It's like I'm only on the 2nd floor, but if you look at the background, it looks like it's... Oh. The troll stepped on a trap. And I can't tell what it is. Oh, fuck. Upheaval trap.
A paralyzed trap, maybe?
Oh, it didn't work. Oh, damn. Leather shield +2. That's actually a really good find early on. And I can't remember what seeds do. Oh, they changed the...
like element type?
Yeah.
What that was?
Yeah, that one changes my familiar to a water type. I don't want that.
No, I ran with straight fire on Quinn for pretty much ever. Didn't see a point to bother changing anything. Because
Okay,
you only
the
get
elevator.
Only get one of Quinn, unfortunately.
Yeah, you never get another. Oh, my inventory wasn't always full. I forgot there were 2 pages. So far, I've gotten pretty lucky with the equipment drops. I mean, I got a pretty good sword, a really good upgraded shield for this early, and I'm not sure if it's scripted or not, but we got that aggro. Oh god, a flame knight. I don't want none of that. I don't want to fight that this early. Those guys are almost as bad as clowns, which I think start appearing on the next floor.
No, I think there may be a couple of floors up.
Sorry.
I can't remember if the seeds were only a temporary change, though.
Neither can I. Oh, and leveling up doesn't restore your HP either.
It doesn't?
Nope.
No, not exactly. No, it doesn't. But it's sort of like, I think it's like a proportional gain. So if you're at full health, you'll be at full health when you gain more HP. But if you're like at like half health, then you'll be at half health when you level up.
Oh, and familiars have MP, which is what it costs for them to use their skills. Like this fire enchant that Quinn keeps using on me. When they run out of MP, if I'm remembering correctly, they fall asleep.
Yeah. I think that's kind of why
they don't die, they'll just kind of sit there.
Yeah. I think that's kind of why I always did the backup stuff, was because it was always it did pretty decent damage or helped increase your damage, but it didn't consume a lot of MP on them.
Alright, so I think it's time to go up to the next floor. I think I have cleared all of this.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. How many floors up do you think I should go?
I don't think you can. Well, there's nothing you can really do. You have to keep going up until, I think it's every is it every 5 floors that you can actually exit out, or if you get like an item that lets you exit early.
I do not remember completely.
It's like either every 5 or 10 floors you were given the option of like being able to leave the tower. There's also an item you can get that immediately, like I think it's a bell. I think it was a bell that let you leave the tower early.
Oh yeah, that's right. And all things considered, I've gotten pretty lucky so far. I mean, I have a good weapon, which will probably carry me up another few floors, at least to 5, then the shield. Provided that I don't get fucked over by traps, I should be fine.
Yep.
Now watch me just get really lucky on this first run and end up making it all the way to 50. That'd be ridiculous.
That'd be pretty insane, since the monsters are really going to start hitting hard here in the next couple floors.
Well, they're already hitting kind of hard comparatively for my HP. And all things considered, though, it's been a good run so far. If I could find the second collar on the first run, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Probably won't happen.
Probably not.
Because it doesn't appear... It only appears on, like, floor 10 and higher, right? Or does
it's pretty high up there. Because I remember... Because the hard part is, once you get the collar, making sure you have the ability to like leave the tower immediately, and or not wanting to continue. That's the hard part. Because
yeah,
I know when I was I had gotten the collar on like 2 or 3 different occasions, and always ended up dying. So mostly because I just wanted to like wow, I'm so far already. I should just see how far I can go. And just kept going and going and going until you you make a jump at like 410. Like the themes tend to change pretty heavily at like certain intervals, and the monsters get
Yeah.
jump up in difficulty.
Monsters, for whatever reason, have a tendency, if possible, like if your familiar's in range, they will almost always try and attack the familiar.
Yeah.
So, I've completed this floor. How's MP on him?